welcome. Over the Top Podcast. It's your boy HD and the Over the Top Podcast crew. Guys, we are live on Facebook. And give everybody a few minutes to come in. Let's click this so I make sure I'm doing what I'm doing.
Please share the live.
Please share with everyone and the live we're going. I'm gonna share with my page.
And if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe.
Please do.
And hit the bell.
You sound like you about to, hey, look, you sound like you about to mix a record or something.
I'm a YouTuber. I'm a not so retired YouTuber. I have to say that often.
Oh.
Why we only got the green screen though? What we doing? We good.
Retired YouTuber.
Good stuff. Let's give people a few minutes to come in the room. How everybody doing? Welcome to Over the Top Podcast. If this is your first time, if you're just strolling past the page and just want to jump on, listen to us and give your thoughts, man. Hey, join the movement. Tonight we're doing the Over the Top Ask Toia show. So if you have any questions about life in general, we ain't got to be relationship geared or whatever you have, please send them to her. You'll get the link in a little while if you hang around with us. But while we do that, they're going to introduce the crew. Big Ron, what's going on, man?
Chilling.
Hey man, we gotta do better than that, sir. I gave you the grand entrance. I'm hype on it. Chilling, really? Come on, guy. That's fine.
I think more or less my energy is really just really in alignment with a lot of the things that have been happening around us, man. And so when we go to pass the mic, I may kind of elaborate on why I'm really kind of out of it to a certain degree. So yeah.
Good stuff. Q, what's the deal, man?
A couple things. First off, for the people who are on live, and just for you and people who may see this later when this gets uploaded, you missed it. Our pro day is tomorrow. I'm gonna be a pro. I'm gonna have Neos by the time some of y'all see this show. With that being said, it's been a month now. Did y'all know the Eagles won a Super Bowl?
Fly Eagles fly. But Q White, for those who don't know, tell them what organization I'm gonna give you a few minutes, let the fans know what organization you belong to, sir.
Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. That's so nice. They named it twice.
Moving right along. Toya, what's the deal, sweetie?
What's
going on with you?
I'm just enjoying life.
You look more brighter and radiant enjoying life. I wonder where that come from. I know where that come from.
Yeah, y'all are haters.
That's right.
Got a glow.
Not a glow about yourself. Not a stone glow. That's what we doing.
Really, bro?
But hey, guys, due to the high content of the Ask Toya's coming, man, and keep them coming. We definitely appreciate the fans that's listening. I know we was on the radio, so we can kind of gauge it, but we can't really gauge it, who all our fans out there. So please, this is one way we keep engaged with you guys, and this is one thing that we love to do. So tonight we're gonna do an Ask Toya show. But the first thing we're gonna do before we do the Ask Toya show, we're gonna pass the mic around to the crew and let them get a little something off the chest. I'm gonna go with Q. What's your pass the mic? You get it started.
I'm glad you let me start this, because my pass mic is more so a question that this can be clipped up for later on. I was on Twitter and I saw there's a tweet that said, if they both were in the same draft class, who would you take in first? And it's picture Joe Burrow and Andrew Luck. And the general consensus is there has never been a time in life where Joe Burrow's been better than Andrew Luck. So that being said, this is a challenge for the panel. I want y'all to Say a word, say anything, raise your hand. Raise your hand when you hear a quarterback that you would take over Andrew Luck to start your franchise.
Well, how many we got now? We gonna have all night, but how many we got?
Well, hey, if it ain't better, then I'm just gonna run through it.
All right, let's go.
So, first quarterback, I'm gonna start with this draft. Either Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward.
I take both of them.
I take both of them.
Yeah, I take
Okay,
both of them.
jeez, all right.
You would take
Okay,
both of them
Ron,
Andrew
before
Luck?
Luck?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
You would take both of them before Luck?
Yeah.
Hey, Ron, look, it's just you now. They're out. They are sold.
You wouldn't?
All right, hey, Ron, just you. Stop me when I take a quarterback. Caleb Williams.
No.
Bryce Young.
No.
Kenny Pickett.
No.
Trevor Lawrence.
No.
Joe Burrow. Kyler
Still
Murray.
no. No.
Murray. Baker Mayfield.
No.
Mitch Trubisky.
No.
Jared Goff.
No.
Jameis Winston.
No.
Blake Bortles.
No.
EJ Manuel.
No.
Cam Newton.
I take
in his prime, yes.
In his prime, I take Cam.
This is coming out of college.
Yes.
Cam,
I would think a Cam Newton.
Cam probably is the only one that I would. I mean, Andrew Luck is still a better passer, but I think the issue more than anything else is that he just never had an offensive line. And you know what's really bad? The quarterback salaries weren't ridiculous then. So it didn't take as much of the cap up. So it's ridiculous that they couldn't get an offensive line around him. But yeah.
I would take Shedeur them better because of the upside and of the career. And this game is not a Luck. Luck ain't no scrambler. The game that
Luck could run. Man,
he ain't elusive.
Luck,
he ain't elusive.
Bro, Luck could really run.
He's not elusive though.
If you look, I'm telling you, man. Okay. Go back and look at some of that film, man. Luck could really run. Luck wasn't a bad athlete.
Is that the end of the list?
To wrap it up, this is all the way going back to 2010. So 2020, the last quarterback, Sam Bradford.
No.
So, Wyoming is in the last 15 years, there's been no quarterback no quarterback prospect coming out of college better than Andrew Luck. I am with Ron. I think somebody need to go back and look at the tape to look at how good Andrew Luck was and how bad the Colts franchise has been since Peyton walked out.
All righty.
That might be true.
Who you pass the mic to?
That might be true.
I'll pass the mic to Miss Toia.
Okay. My passing mic is a little bit, it's just more informative about mental health of your teens. Make sure that you're talking to your young people, especially if you have LGBTQ young people. Well, not just that, just in this time that we're living in, we don't realize how much our world is affecting our teenagers or our young people. So we have to have conversations. I've had an uncomfortable conversation with my 13-year-old this week because of something that happened. Have these conversations. Our parents didn't talk to us a whole lot. We just knew that certain things, we kept a lot to ourselves. We shouldn't want our kids to be like that. We should want our kids to be very open, very candid, and no fear to coming to us to talk about anything that they want to talk about. Pay attention to your girls especially, because a lot is going on that we don't know. There's a lot of even the way they talk is different. So you don't know what they're talking about. I get skibbity all day. Still don't know what skibbity means. And I feel like what the Sigma means, like what the fuck, but they say it though.
Yeah, okay.
Just have the conversations with your kids. Pay attention to your kids. Keep open minds and open hearts and lead with love in everything you do with your kids because they're going through a lot. And it's a little scary sometimes. So that was my pass the mic.
Good
I'm gonna
stuff.
pass the mic to Brother Ron.
Hey man, mine is heavy. Um, I was listening to this gentleman report on the story in the Atlantic, and I'm sitting here thinking like I'm I'm signed up in a group chat where we were connected to a group chat for baseball for my son, so the parents can communicate and the coaches can communicate with the parents, which I haven't fully completed. But we just had a less qualified person who was um, confirmed by the Senate and Congress to really be the Secretary of Defense. And what the gentleman reported in the Atlantic was that there was a situation where there was a breach of confidential information. For all we can say about Trump and all that we have in terms of his administration, it's the level of incompetence by which they operate in that really concerns me. People's life and limb are on the line, and information that should be classified as getting texted to somebody that they don't even know who's on the chat. That's the highest level of incompetence that you can have. You don't even have a secure line to talk to the people that you should be communicating with. And some people that were on that line customarily wouldn't have been on that line. Now, I would say this to America, and I will pose this question to you. We're reactive instead of proactive. This right here truly concerns me in terms of our overall well-being and our safety. And Americans better wake up. Change for the sake of change is not good change all the time. In this situation, and this administration with some of these people that are present, they are not up to speed and or not capable of doing the job. I pass the mic to you, Hank.
Facts.
Facts. So,
Facts.
I had a couple which way I wanted to go with it, and being at the spirit of the evening, we're gonna continue this. Me and my cousin was on the phone today, and we was talking about where is the state of our community. And trust me, when I say our community, I'm not just talking about blacks. I'm just talking about whites. I'm talking about American. What are the state of our community? What at this point, what do we do? Dude, we don't know what to do. We are lost. We are lost at sea right now. The Democrat, think about this now. Think about this now. If whatever side of the hall you want to lay on, the Democrats or Republicans, the Republicans put out a budget that the Democrats know will destroy the country. Instead of Democrats having a chutzpah to go against it and fight it, they vote for it. So where are we now? Who are our allies? Where do we go? Who do we vote for? I've been preaching it for years. Two fangs of the same snake. If you with somebody, what was the old state law? If all of us is in the car and one person going there and steal, the hands of one is the hands of all. So either you're gonna be with it or you complicit for it. So you just say you are complicit to what's going on. You don't want the change. They don't want the change. You complicit to what's going. I may regret my vote. Really, do you? Democrats? Do you? Because you didn't stand for it. Self-destruction. Me and Ron had this conversation all the time. The one thing I would say about our 47, man. Our 47 president, 47, for our 47 president is he got big ideas, but he don't know how to govern. You have no idea how to govern. The people who know how to govern was the Democratic Party. And instead of them taking a strong stance, they even put even a small firewall, they just bent over and laid down for them. So what do we do? I know I got the answer. We need to dig up that daggone 10-point plan that the Black Panther Party
I literally said that today.
We can give it. Hey, I got a plan for you. We got one written. The black folk already got it, guys. White America, I'm sorry. We're not coming to your rescue on this one. We got our 10-point plan, but brothers and sisters, time to organize. Time to make it work. Instead of fighting the system, see how that system can make the community better. There are loopholes and everything. Anywho. Go ahead, Toya.
It's an amazing plan, but the problem is, can y'all get it together as one and be as one and like it was at that time?
Well, you got to really have a real conversation, man, because I think one of the things that we kind of lose sight of, and I think sometimes people don't understand the dynamics of why the government feared Fred Hampton so badly. He was able to form coalitions.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that made Martin Luther King so dangerous is when he really actively said he was going down to Appalachia and get those people, and we was coming to DC to get our check. What Fred Hampton said in that speech that was shared amongst a group that I'm a part of, talking about creating a proletariat state. A proletariat state is a group of people who are connected to one another, identifying, and this is just the way that it sounded when Fred was talking about it. I need to look it up and have a further understanding of it. But a proletariat state means a group of people that came together, not necessarily based around race or religion, but recognizing that the economics are against them.
Mm.
And then what Reagan said in so many words was, and people not even really hearing it, man. When people they giving you the clues and how they lined up against the Black Panthers, because Reagan said, when you get these educated folks and these educated people, because the Southern Heritage Foundation the Heritage Foundation ain't just started this idea. Reagan, they have 5. I always say this, guys. They have 5 block grant aid programs. Reagan cut 4. There's only one left, that's Pell Grant. So that money was diverted to go other places. So we're not understanding that they've always feared the educated electorate. That's what they're talking about, proletariat. The educated electorate will put them out of office. And what we don't even really are not realizing this part of it. Up until the last maybe 20 years, the Republican Party could not win a popular vote. Trump was the first one to win a popular vote. So what was really effectively scaring a lot of these people was that the inability to have coalitions surrounding those things, and Trump just came at the right time.
But now it's a pivotal time in what we're doing. What we need those connections and that coalition to put us in a better situation. The lunch for the next levels. Not, dude. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know to what end.
But those coalitions have to be, honestly, they have to be multinational. I heard what Malik Yoba said today, and it kind of pissed me off. But then I thought about what he was saying. I kind of understood it, but I don't think he knew how to convey it the best way. Meaning that he was like, well, I don't want to identify as Black anymore. But he was saying, well, I want to identify as a human being, but at the same time, incorporate all these other races into the way that I identify, the way that I interpreted what he said. Because what has happened is, and I hate to say this, but I mean, this is true. Whiteness in some ways has been weaponized.
Mm.
And I think that's the real problem, like the presumptive nature of it and then proximity to it. And when you hear people from other countries that really kind of align with it, all white folks are not bad, man.
No.
But
no, we don't say that.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm just putting that out there. But I think the alignment with that psyche is really where you kind of fall into that nature. But man, I don't know. Let's get off of this topic, man. Let's get to the
good stuff. Q, you want to have anything to add, sir? You get the last word on this one, sir. You got anything you want to add, sir?
Nah, I'm just gonna stay black.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Hey guys, like I said, man, we have a hey, love our fans. Thank you for listening to us on Amazon. Thank you for listening to us on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook. And we have a plethora, bro. Did I say that word right? Plethora? A lot?
Plethora.
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 Something like that. Something like that.
We got a
As
lot.
Toya that we're gonna get through. So Toya, that jump on the first one.
We're gonna be light. We're gonna start off light, like because we got some heavy ones. So I'm gonna start off with the light one first. So I don't have the actual video, but I'm so sure everybody has seen this video today. So as Dear Toya, well, as Hey Toya, just wanted to know what you thought about the video with Jaden Daniels and Juju and his mom. So if you haven't seen the video, Jaden Daniels, the quarterback of the Washington Commanders, and Juju Smith, right? Playing for USC, are sitting at a game right now during March Madness, and like Quentin said, when you see Juju on camera, she's really not looking very interested. But they're having a conversation and she's smiling and they're laughing, and it seems like they're having a really good conversation. And then and the camera is on them, and then all of a sudden his mom appears and she sits in between them, and you don't know really what it is, what happened, what was said, but the way that it is perceived to look is like, no, you ain't gonna talk to my son, or I'm gonna make sure that y'all are not seen and people get the wrong idea about you two, or it just looks like a very overprotective mom. Now that might not necessarily be what it is because we don't know what the conversation is, but it's just how it's perceived to be. So this person Freedom wants to know what we think about it. So y'all
Q, go ahead. You start out, Q. What you got, Q? What's your thought?
Look, I'm all for mothers protecting. Look, because we don't see this a lot. We see Anthony Edwards of the world. We see Zions of the world. Where they so we don't see a lot where the parents maybe aren't in the life of the children, so they just make bad mistakes. Look, mom, that's Juju. That is quite possibly could possibly be one of the greatest WNBA players we see in our lifetime. Possibly. Shout out to or at minimum, one of the best scorers we see. Look, it's okay. This wasn't a bench player. This wasn't some random woman. For people who care, it's not even a white woman. For people who care.
We care.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure. Hey, I'm asking you, what do you think your mama do? What do your mama do?
To me or
to you? Him? What do your mama do to you?
My mom has seen me bring a white woman home.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure she may not move on Juju, but if there was if there was okay.
No. If it was Paige Buckner, I'm pretty sure she would be okay with that too.
Yeah, it was Paige. Yeah, you have some problems, sir.
I wouldn't have problems with Paige because mom. All I gotta say, hey mom, look at these stats. Look what she's projected to go.
I'm pretty sure she's better with you, Juju, than Paige.
I'm about to be a trophy husband. Mom, sit this one out. Sit this one out, mother.
Good stuff. But
I was getting to, hey, let the man. He made a business decision and it was a good one. You ain't got to get in the way of this one.
Roger, what's your thoughts, man? What's your thought?
I don't know how to feel, man, because the thing that really concerns me is if she may be his cousin from what they've seen. So there's a lot of murky water in relationship to that. But if it is what we see with our eyes and she sat in between those two, then it's kind of concerning. But you know what's really crazy? It was a show where they talked about the black quarterback and asked his mom, she said, what's the one thing that you think they can do to derail your son's vision for his life? And she straightly said, looked in the camera, said, girls. And man, she meant that thing. So I don't know whether she's because she look a lot like his mom. Word is bond. Like, and I'm thinking like they might be family for real, but I don't know. But what I will say is children need guidance on relationships. I do think we should court. And I do think it should be a process in terms of dating, no matter how well off she is or she's going to be. If she making some money, she at USC on the NIL.
She is
However,
making money.
Wait,
yeah.
I just thought something. I had to Google this. Mother could have jumped in for the age difference. Again, for the people who care, Jaden is 24, Juju's 19. So she may have jumped in for the age difference too. But again, who knows?
No, as long as she over 18, she fair
good.
game.
So there's some people who care about how much of a gap their age is.
And how old is he?
He's
24.
24.
So
He is 24. Juju is 19.
So okay, so
And she turns 20 in July.
She's a year out of college, and she turns 20 in July. Stop.
well, I'm even looking at it from this standpoint. Mama a little aggressive because if most, and speaking for myself, I am a mama's boy. Speaking for myself, at 24 years old, you know what mama approve of, what mama don't approve of. Mama don't have to be overreactive unless mama just all of a sudden feeling some insecurities. Mama at 24 don't have to jump between me and the date. Maybe mama at 18, 19 may have to, but at 24, I kind of know where my mama's staying, where my mama know. You see what I'm saying? That makes sense. I mean, I wouldn't even put mama in that situation at 24 because I know how crazy mama may be. I know mama gonna jump between me and her. So why am I gonna put me in a situation to do that? I may sit behind her and mama sit beside. You know, you see, am I making sense? Or am I off?
You're making sense, but listen,
I would even.
listen.
I don't know.
It depends on the mama.
I tell you what, though, I tell you what, and I understand that, and it's all cute, and if something happened with him, that's cool. I think mothers do hella cop. Some mothers hella cop more than others. Some mothers overbearing, but both of them cats. The only thing I want to come out is how well I'm playing basketball or how well I'm playing football. Let's try to keep your private life a little private. That's the point I'm trying to make.
I literally think it was something innocent. They might have just happened to be sitting next to each other during the game. I think she had literally probably maybe just finished her game. Well, she was in full USC gear. We know she's playing. I don't know if they were at March Madness watching a game. And the cameras probably just
giggy though when she saw it though. She was a little Google eyes. She was a little Google
she was look, I thought it was sweet.
Very
I thought it was
eyes.
cute. But again, we don't know the situation. Ron said they might be family. They could be cousins. And mama just coming in between. And mama could just be coming in between so that their business isn't out in the street and is kept private because these two do live outside lifestyles. They are in the spotlight. Now look, as a mother, and if I had a quarterback son like Jaden, who seems very, very grounded and very, very respectful, and he was talking to a basketball star like Juju, hey, we making millionaire babies together. My mind's going to I think a lot of people in the comments too were like, maybe they didn't know who she was, but they were like, oh, that's just another. No, this baby is already making millions. She's already got sponsors with Nike. She doing commercials. This child got money. She don't need his money.
This over the top. This is over the top. I gotta say it.
We already know she's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, but I gotta say it to you. I gotta say it. Mama may have some intel that she may be a little fast in the pad.
I don't think
she don't want that around her son.
That's fine.
You know one thing, California got some. California got some specific. They got some real specific divorce laws too, boy.
Yeah,
hey man, one of Anthony Edwards' baby mama.
Why would you say that she's fasting? Why are you putting it on her? He could be fast in the pants.
No, I'm not saying that.
I know. I was just making a suggestion, but the point I'm making is all because you got money don't mean you right for the person. His multi-millionaires are horrible now.
But I thought it was very innocent, actually. I thought it was cute.
It was cute.
And I think that, like, if it is that they're a couple, they would be a very cute couple. But
What
I
I
thought
see
it
now, I
was
don't know
cute.
about
I thought
that.
it was very innocent. I don't think it was what everybody thought it would be because you just saw it on camera. You didn't hear anything, and you didn't hear what the mother was saying in the end. I just think, we're just prone in this day and time to look at things and just run off to the races with it.
That's
And
right.
you got to just slow it down some. But
I thought it was cute.
if it is, I think it is, they, like you said, court, take your time because they both have very busy lifestyles. But they both know the challenges of being a supreme athlete. And so that's understanding why they might come together. They know the challenges.
And they
And
only, hey,
it's just like
focus on your business. Focus on your business and black love.
that
Focus on
part. Keep
your
your
black love.
business, and other people need to mind the business that pays them.
Well, they
That
ain't gonna do that now, but you're right.
But thank you, Freedom, for the
That was a
question.
fun one. That was a fun one. That was a fun
So
one.
I think maybe we go with our next question is a little heavy. Let me pull up the video.
But nothing's
So we can
heavy. I just
hear.
the conversation is different.
Yeah, it's not heavy, but the
Hey
conversation.
man, hey man, why you put on the video? Hey guys on Facebook Live. If you got somebody do we talk about courting, man? We forgot about them old R&B songs and falling in love with a young girl. You want to check out Yes or No? Can you go out with me? I mean, courting is the fun. It ain't the journey is always fun. Sometimes fun, always better than the destination. Sometimes I don't know. Let us get back to this black love. I don't know. I don't know. What we got here? What we got here?
So here, I'm going to show the video first. Can y'all see that?
Yes.
All right. I need the volume.
Personality. Over the last decade, she's grown an adoring audience that followed her tutorials catering to natural hair, makeup, and fashion. In mid-July of last year, Jessica took to social media to share something different with her followers, something personal. It wasn't about beauty, but about health. She wrote, in part, on July 1st, 2022, at 4 a.m., my husband found me in the bathroom, unresponsive and not breathing. I was rushed to the hospital where they told me that the extreme blood loss was due to fibroids. My gyno made it seem like it was so normal and common. I didn't think much of it. However, I was passing clots the size of a placenta, which was really alarming. They kept me overnight and released me the next day. Fast forward to July 22nd, I was hospitalized again for the same thing. Again, the medical professionals treated it like it was not that alarming since it was just a fibroid. Jessica goes on to explain that the bleeding eventually stopped, but labor-like pains replaced it. She said her life became limited, but the doctors continue to brush it off as fibroids. After more hospital visits and temporary fixes, Jessica saw a female doctor who took her seriously. After undergoing a biopsy, she woke up from anesthesia to the news that she had stage 3 cervical cancer. She had been misdiagnosed the entire time. On March 11th, 8 months after she first sought medical help, Jessica Petway died. She was 36 years old. Jessica's story is not an...
Ron, what you think?
So here is the question. I'm sorry, y'all. So the question is, dear Toya, I came across this reel on Facebook and it made me wonder, and I know you've talked about healthcare disparities amongst Black and brown women before, but while everyone is worrying about things like DEI and what whose name shall not be spoken is going to do next, the one thing we still aren't paying attention to is Black and brown women dying at a higher rate because of healthcare disparities. I'm a nurse practitioner, and we are constantly speaking about this, and still in 2025, nothing is being done. Have you or any of the wives of the crew ever dealt with this issue? I love the show and you. I think this is a good topic to discuss. Signed, Nurse Hall. So,
go ahead, Ron. What's your thoughts?
Why is this still a problem?
What's really problematic about it is this. Wow. There's always going to be functional disparities in the implementation of care for African Americans, and the reason why I say that, I'm trying to get my thoughts together because when I read this question, I was trying to figure out a way to attack it. So I'm going to try to attack it in the nicest way, but at the same time, most lethal way. In all true honesty, there is anatomically some differences between us and Caucasians, but at the same time, there's not so much so difference between us and Caucasians that we should be ignored. And what's really going on with us in the truest sense, when your doctor tells you something, man, don't take them at their word. Get a second opinion. That's a common sense thing. Like if I don't believe something that somebody tells me and I'm not comfortable with what they tell me, then I go to the next person till I can find out the answer. The sad thing about it is sometimes we trust doctors. And you know, one of the things that was really powerful that my wife said to me, she said, doctors are just practicing. That's why they call it a practice. And so you got to really identify with where we are right now in this country. A lot of the healthcare and the healthcare system, and even the doctors that work within it, constantly say that the system here in America is not suited towards serving its people. So when you think about if regular America has the flu, we have pneumonia. So it's going to be an elevated rate of African American females that are going to be impacted by that. And what's the major concern for us is with all these doctors coming from these various countries to come over here and get this education, what we need to do is be following ourselves towards doctors that we feel like have our own personal best interests at heart. Be conscious of that. And I think that's where you have to really think about it when you choose a physician. That's extremely important.
Q, what's your thoughts?
I just want to say, because the question really kind of wasn't directed at me, but for future reference, I will say this. I'll be the type, if I smell something wrong and a doctor trying to tell me something, they're like, hey, can we check this again? Because I don't feel like you telling me the whole story here. I had someone I know went to the doctor the other day, and they, for something like that could have been serious, didn't check the thing that was serious, and I was like, and you just walked. You should have went back and at least had a doctor check it. So, and luckily that thing ended up being fine still, but that could have not been. Mm-hmm. It's always good to get the double, triple check, quadruple check. And if you smell something wrong still, go to a different doctor. Trust your gut.
Huh?
Trust your gut. If it smells wrong, it might be wrong.
Yeah. Growing up as a PK, and I don't bring up being a PK, it is what it is. But one of the things I was taught growing up is, don't just listen. And we taught this with religion. Don't just listen to what the pastors say. Study to show thyself approved. Hold these doctors to the same standard. That's hold these doctors say. If the doctor say some word you don't understand, go home and look it up. Take 5-10 minutes, look up what he's saying. Take 5-10 minutes, look up the cause. Find some research. When you go talk to the doctor, have something with you that you can ask the questions. I know my little ones is in the hospital, the nursing station, the doctors hate me because I'm going to ask the questions. And if I don't get it the first time, I'm going to ask you again. If I don't get it the second time, it still feel funky, I'm going to look it up. If it still feel funky, I may not need you to do this procedure. I may need to find somebody else. We got to become advocates, not just of ourselves, but of the people who we take care of. If you're not the advocate, especially in healthcare, especially with our women, because for some straight, well, we know why, but the reason most is companies feel that black women are strong and blacks are strong and we opposites and we can take more beating. Hell, we got a secretary of health say that with the black folk need a different vaccine than the white folk do. Well, get vaccinated. guys, that at some point in time in our inclusion or be with everybody else or be with other classes, we forgot they're not out for our good. Just like let us stop having the same person who harm us to try to treat us. They're not gonna treat us. Do your own research. Do your research. Follow up. Stay on their behind. Stay on their behind. Hey, the squeaky wheel always gets the oil. That's my take. Toya, your thoughts.
So the question asks, if any of us have ever had, or any of the wives have ever dealt with healthcare disparities. Against working in the medical field, you try to, like you say, question a whole lot. But I have dealt with probably the worst of a healthcare disparity in thinking where a doctor is not listening to you and almost dying. Walking around for 2 weeks bleeding to death after a loss of a baby. You're already emotionally distraught because you had to literally have a baby and you lost that baby, and then they leave things inside you. And I kept going back because something wasn't right. And this white man kept telling me, oh, you're fine, that's normal. Until my actual doctor came back and figured out that they left placenta inside me. And I had to not only push a baby out, but then have a DNC and a blood transfusion because I was literally about to drop dead. Because they assume, and when we talk about in our health disparities are usually amongst gynecology and in the field of regular medicine, where they don't believe that we're experiencing the pain because they've been using us as guinea pigs since slavery. The father of gynecology used slave women as guinea pigs. And up until I think 2018, his statue was still standing in New York City. And they finally took it down. Like everybody else said, I learned, and I was a little bit younger then, and of course, going through something traumatic, your mind is not thinking. You have to learn to ask the tough questions. I teach my girls always advocate for yourself and your life, because this is your life. This woman was 36 years old and she walked around being told she had fibroids. And even if she did have fibroids and they were so painful, the question should have been, when are you taking these out of me? Not, oh, it's normal. It's not normal to walk around in that much pain where you feel like you're crippled and you're dying. And then because you waited so long to get a real diagnosis, she ended up dying anyway at 36 years old. This happens every day, and it is a problem. And we have to learn how to seek out physicians that have our best interests in heart. So when you're going to these doctors, I literally have conversations. Now, I've had doctors here in Charlotte for years who know me. I am the person that when we go into the infusion center or I'm in the cancer center, they give to new nurses so that you know how to deal with an unruly patient, because I am an unruly patient.
Oh, you need to be raising all kinds of say, but hey, but you got to though.
I
You
am a
got
throat
to.
chopper. Everybody knows that I am a throat chopper. So you need to be with her because she's going to teach you how to deal and also how to listen, because there's things that I will not allow you to do to me. I have rolling veins. I have a fear of a stent. So we will figure out how we do chemo, how it's going to be done or whatever. And you can't go any higher than my wrist and my arm, or you're going to hurt me. I am not going to allow you to stick me 100 times while you try to watch my veins roll this way and roll that way. No, that's not going to happen. You're going to do this hand. And I don't care what you say, or I'm going to throat punch you. Literally, I am that person. But you have to be that person because you know your body. You know what you're going through. You know that pain. So I just think that at some point, and it's getting out more about the healthcare disparities amongst African and brown women and men too.
We need to start breeding. We need to start breeding doctors. We need to start taking young kids who's the eighth, ninth grade and say, hey, your profession gonna be in 10 years a doctor. And we're gonna put all this resources in to become this doctor. Not whatever I figure myself out. Nah, Jack. We need some of the doctors.
Listen, I'm gonna speak about it with the next question.
We need to start breeding these young people when they're in grade school. This is what you're doing. This is the school you're going to. This is the doctor plan you're going to. This is your NIL money, so you got some money to go to school, and you can represent your community. Let's stop playing with this thing, man.
I do. I agree. And I think
let's stop playing with this thing.
I think she said it's a nice topic to talk about. I think that when we have our all women show, that'll probably be a show, and maybe Nurse Nightingale was in the chat. Maybe she'll come on. I
tried to. She's our local nurse. She's our
nurse practitioner. She'll come on and we'll have a conversation with the women about, because it is a very serious topic, and it is something that is near and dear to my heart because of the things that this body goes through and what I have experienced in dealing with healthcare disparities. So I appreciate the question, Nurse Hall, and maybe you might want to come on as a nurse practitioner.
Hey, the motor man, we'll have a whole nother medical podcast where we can really dive in this thing, man, because we definitely need it. What we got next, T?
So the next question is another video, but I'm not going to show it. I'm just going to explain it because it takes too much to show these videos. It says, Dear Toia, first let me say by saying I ran across your live last week. I follow you on Facebook and I really enjoyed the conversation. So now I follow you on Amazon Music. Please keep feeding the people the information they need. As soon as I saw this reel, it made me think of you and the guys, and I wonder what's your opinion on the conversation. You have a new fan, and I look forward to hearing your answer. Also, I just had to say, you have an absolutely beautiful smile. Keep smiling, Queen.
Everybody want to give shout outs to Toia, I see. Okay.
Your new #1 fan. So the video that was sent was video of an interview between I think it's a mixed guy and a black girl, and they're on a train, and they're talking about DEI, and she says, we literally just need to go back to segregation. Just give us a space where we need to be, and we'd be segregated. And he's like, well, where would I go? She's like, you invited to the cookout, you already know. And she just goes on about going back to being segregated. And so
play the video, Toia. Okay, you play the video. Play the video for the fans. Play the video for the people, so we can.
I have it open, so let me.
Play, hey guys, hey Facebook Live, hey guys. Thank you everybody for listening in, man.
Thank you for the compliment.
Thank you for the compliment. Woo.
I know I love the compliment.
But we want to.
Where's our compliments though? Do we not?
I know. Toia only gets compliments.
Cuteness.
But let's play the clip so we can really dive in this thing a little bit.
All right. I gotta find. Oh, there we go.
And bring it back. I want to know where I'm not welcome. Okay. Put them signs back up. Colors only, whites only. Let's do it. All right. Rip the Band-Aid off. Especially for a restaurant. Are you kidding me? Whites only? What do I want to do in there? What they got? Mashed potatoes, mayonnaise, hot dogs. Colors only. We got seasoning, turmeric, paprika.
Okay, I like this.
Okay.
You were saying that the black excellence.
Absolutely.
The segregation is to get the
colored excellence.
Okay.
Okay. What's the playlist in the whites only spot? They playing Carrie Underwood and Kid Rock. We playing Babyface and Diggable Planets. Ain't no overhead lighting. What are you talking about?
Wait, where am I going?
Colors.
Hell yeah.
Look at his hair. Talking about where am I going? That's the problem with North Africans.
That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. I'm in. 100% agree. Let's go.
Talk about where I'm going.
Oh, man. Yeah.
What happens to you in the summertime?
Where are we putting the Italians?
Listen.
I just want to know.
I don't need their food. I don't like tomatoes.
Oh, so they're going on the white side.
Black people spend over $1 trillion a year. I would love for the government to force us to spend it on our own people.
This is very good.
Yes.
I like this a lot.
I brought you over to the side.
And the black airplane?
Oh, come on, the Soul Plane, baby.
I want to be on Soul Plane.
Yes, it's going to be noisy on there, but that's what noise cancellation headphones are for. You know what I'm saying?
And they're going to have all the good movies?
All the good movies, all the good music.
Oh, man.
And while we at it, bring back sundown towns. They never left, but...
What's that?
Well, a sundown town was back in the day during Jim Crow where black people weren't allowed to be in a town after the sunset.
Wow.
So those towns never left. They still exist in America, but they took the signs down. I want them to put the signs back up. I wanted to say 248 miles to the next town that likes colored people. Get your gas in Atlanta. Don't stop till you get to Savannah, all right?
I'm with her.
He with me.
So,
Go T.
yeah, let me tell you something.
Go T.
I am down for it. Wait, I'm sorry. I am so down. Like, I'd be cool with that. And here's the thing. It's not all black people because, like Ron said, it ain't all white people. We got a lot that can come to the cookout. I'm not mad at it. Bring back Sundown Town. Bring back the signs because the Sundown, they never left. They still exist. So when you're traveling them dark roads at night where you need to stop, fill up, and not even stop in that town. That $1 trillion a year, that remark is true. Like if we think about it, how can that money be spent in our community instead of spending it out in the world? And we all know that the real truth is that they wouldn't have made it without us if it wasn't for integration. The problem was our dollars were staying in our communities. And so I'm not mad at it. I'm at this point in life, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut it out a little bit because I'm gonna go next. I don't know. Just switch it up a little bit. So and you guys always heard me say. First of all, let me say this for the record. Segregation was I think was the cornerstone of what we needed as a people at the time because we didn't have the resources. But now that we have resources, is it totally a good thing or a bad thing? If we look at different areas, and I'm not saying be separated from white and black, no, because this is not a white and black. It is a white and black, but not necessarily a white and black. Is it for me? But when we look at integration, we look at what's needed. And we look at our school systems now. Are we getting a better education? Are we getting better resources? Because our resources are the same now. We still got the school to prison pipeline. When it was all black schools, there was no school to prison pipeline. You had teachers who took care of their students and took care of their own. When we became integrated, which is fine with integration. But what did they really do to our community? It gave us opportunity to be in your store, but did it give us did it dim our opportunity of the American dream? Because we thought you was better than ours, so we spent money in your area than our area, than our communities. Our communities, the dollar stayed in our communities the amount of 6 hours. We have $1 trillion business. There's much more to other countries as a black community, not just black, that's the black community. But we look at communities that need to uphill and we need to move to get equality. We still fighting for equality. I don't know. It may not be a bad thing to vote in the block, like Ron said. It may not be a bad thing to reverse my migration and find us a state that we can go against the evil forces that face our country. It may not be a bad thing. I don't know. That's the quick answer. Ron, I'm going with you. Where you at?
I mean, segregation in and of itself has some good components for it because it made people internalize as black folks. It brought out the entrepreneurship in the sense that you had to create businesses and opportunities within inside your community. I think wherever there's a high level of oppression, there's always going to be innovation. And that innovation is going to separate the poor folks from the wealthy folks. And I think one of the things that you spoke about coming out of Reconstruction and then transitioning into Jim Crow was really directly a core issue that affected all of us. One of the things that I see about it, and I think here's the thing that's really kind of the core thing that we miss about any aspect of segregation, because it goes back to what you were saying about Lyndon Baines Johnson. If you can, what is it that Lyndon Baines Johnson said? If you can go in a Caucasian man pocket.
Give me a second. I'll put a quarter for you. Go ahead with your thought. I come with you.
But here's the real essence of it. There's always been people that have been able to monetize ideas, and people that monetize ideas generally exploit the people who create the ideas. So when I look at it right now, what has really happened, and what we're seeing right now with segregation and some aspects of it, and all these thought processes that were old becoming new again, is a direct result of people really trying to take America back in time. Yeah. And I think the people that are part of this country need to really realize that it's not necessarily about black and white, man. It's principally about rich and poor. Mm-hmm. And it's clearly defined now. It's not even hitting out of sight. They're cutting programs in our government right now so they can extend tax dollars to people that are already billionaires. And what's really crazy is the first round of tax breaks that were given to billionaires were, they were high level the Koch brothers, but the Koch brothers realized that Trump was, a little bit dangerous. And they haven't necessarily closely affiliated themselves since that time. So we have really got to really look at like what we're seeing. The segregationists and those things that are really that are driving this movement that we're seeing right now in this country is directly related to people not necessarily understanding that they're living in a space where poverty is their enemy more than my skin color. So I'm gonna say that again.
Say it again. Say again.
Poverty is their enemy more than my skin color. That's a bar, man.
Yeah, that is.
The bar.
So the quote is this: if you can convince the lowest white man that he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you picking his pockets. Hell, he'll give you something to look down on. No, hell, give him somebody to look down on, and he'll empty his pockets for you. Lyndon B. Johnson.
And that's the scary thing about it is what we see, and I'm gonna step off of it real quick. The scary thing about it, what we see, is that a lot of these people via DEI and some of these other policies have lost their jobs, and they all thought, not me. Yeah, it was you.
And the ones being sent to other countries, unnecessarily being shipped back to where they came from or not where they came from, all saying, oh, it wasn't me. And the crazy thing today in the doctor's office with Zoe, her doctor said, no, when it comes to the parents of LGBTQ kids, they're all saying, I didn't know he was going to do that. I didn't think he was going to do that. And I'm sitting there thinking, and she said the same, she's like, how didn't you know? What was it you're listening to? What didn't you hear? At what point wasn't clear to you? Because we all knew.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily listen. I know our dollars matter. And literally things won't work without us. As far as economic. Because again, we spend. But I just want them to see for a minute. Like, here we go on strike, all of us, to see how it won't work without us.
Q, what's your thoughts, man? I know it's a little heavy for you, Q. What's your thoughts, sir?
First off, I gotta say this. As of 20 minutes ago, Juju just got hurt.
Oh, no.
And she had to be carried off. It's a knee injury.
Oh, dang. That baby.
So I know we were just talking about Juju and Joe's. I just got 20 minutes ago.
Dang.
Okay. Sorry to hear that.
That's heartbreaking.
Nah,
So we had to bring it up because we were talking about her earlier. That's for the people who are seeing this afterwards thinking we were talking about her in bad taste. No, this is live. I just saw that.
Right. So what's your thoughts on the conversation, sir?
As for the bring back segregation, guys, it is the year of 2025. There is more there by the year 2050, there may be more mixed people than either black or white.
Well, it will be. No, that's statistically shown. It will be. It will be. It will be.
So instead of going backwards, let's keep moving forward. Now, if you want to have a black space and a white space, that's cool. That's great. We don't have to put labels on it. Let it be unspoken rules. We know what the cookout is.
When you're putting in orders to say that it's okay to not allow to segregate your businesses.
Well, I need people to understand something. This is the same Congress that just tried to take out the education department. This is the same company that the leader of the Secretary of Education is a white woman from the WWF. Look, these people do not make good decisions. This is not one of them. No. Let it go back to there are unwritten rules to who can be where. There not need to be labels there. Again, as I was saying, we know who's allowed at the cookout. We know what the cookout is. We know brunch. We know who usually goes to brunch. We don't need labels because when you make labels, that's when people want to break into things. Look, keep it unwritten and everyone will be A-okay.
Hey, valid point, sir. Good point. Good point.
Facts. I love it, Q.
Good point. Good point, sir. I mean, a different view, but good point. Hey, good point.
Well, I want to say, thank you, sir, for saying I have a beautiful smile. You know.
Oh my goodness! Here we go. Give it to your smile.
Question.
Come on, guys.
You here?
So wait, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna hit up. I'm gonna skip that question. I'm gonna hit up the last question.
And for now, I would ask her, stop hitting on Toya, please.
Oh, Toya got a name.
Wait, I ain't gonna tell your business now. I ain't gonna tell
you got a name.
Hey, I will. I'll air this show out right now.
I ain't gonna tell your business.
Toya got a name.
Let us stop hitting on Toya, please.
All right. So is our last, dear Toya.
I love you guys.
Am I an asshole?
Ooh, I
just wanted to start that way, like on the other podcast, for asking my new husband to not discipline my girls with spankings. I am 42-year-old mother of 3 girls, ages 13, 12, and 10. I have never had to hit my girls for anything and are truly disciplined or truly discipline them other than asking them to clean their room up and around the house. They all make amazing grades, play sports, and dance. Our schedule is extremely hectic, so sticking to it means a lot. I've been married for 4 months now to my husband of 45. He doesn't have any children of his own, and we are talking about trying. We did not live together before marriage, so moving into a new home with 4 females is hard. I get that. It is an adjustment for us all. I forgot to say I was married to the girl's father. He passed away 5 years ago, so it's just been me and my girls for the last 5 years. Recently, my 13-year-old had a disagreement with my husband about washing her clothes, and she got smart with him. After it came out her mouth, she apologized, but it seemed like that didn't matter to him, and he was ready to put hands on her. I'm sorry. It triggered me because I was abused by my parents and put into foster care. So we had the conversation before we all moved in with one another about how to discipline the girls. So now I don't want him to discipline them at all. I don't know how to fix this. I don't want to be an asshole. What do you think I should do? We both listen to the show and we love you guys. And thank you in advance for your advice. Signed, Tamika.
All right, I'm gonna go with you first. Let's take around to RJ. Well, he left me.
Go
Go
me.
ahead, Q. Go ahead, Q. Jump on it.
First, I like to say, these type of series is on my TikTok all the time, so I enjoyed doing these. With that being said, I was with the husband. I was with him up until she said married 4 months ago with no children. Now look here, sir. Look, I was about to be on your side, but you got no kids, and these kids ain't yours. You can't be hitting another man. If they were your kids, I'd be like, okay. Then I'd be like, okay, what do they do? But they not your kids. You just got here. There's no guarantee you're gonna be here a month from now. You can't hit someone else's kids. and plus, I'll say this: at a certain point, they don't need to be hit at all. And at 13, look here, I'm unplugging the Wi-Fi. That at 13.
Yeah.
Anything into that, it's a little. Hey, you cut that out. At 13, it's all right. I'm throwing a router outside. We'll sit. I'll stop paying the light, but we'll sit in darkness. But then again, I don't know if that's his house anyway. Bro, you ain't got no power in that house. You ain't got no power in that house. That ain't your house. That ain't your kids. A month from now, that may not be your wife. Calm all that down, please, sir.
Facts. Go ahead, Ryan. Your thought.
Man, he out of pocket. Those kids are a certain age. You know, one thing that I learned though, it's really crazy. He said it. It was said in the daggone Ask Toya where they talked about what discipline would look like, but there's not any follow through on what discipline would look like, and that's a real problem in a lot of situations. And you know what's really interesting? Most parents or people that get married don't ever really talk about what discipline their children look like.
Mm-hmm.
I heard a gentleman say that in a group that I was a part of one time, and I think that needs to be first and foremost. But nah, dude, them kids are too old for you to be putting hands on them, man. And then also too, you haven't been with them, you hadn't earned the capital in terms of rearing them from a certain point to be comforted in. Excuse me, to be comforted in being willing to spank those children, man. That don't even make sense, man. So I'm a like hard knowing that. And I think one of the things that has to happen with men, you have to think of effective ways to really kind of speak to or deal with children. But I'm gonna tell you the God honest truth, man. I don't know if I could do that, champ. I don't care how much I dig the mama, man, because I ain't never been in that space. So yeah, it couldn't be me.
On how to discipline?
Nah, not the discipline. When you date a woman with children, older children that are in this like pre-adolescent age, I think there's not a lot of understanding, and there's a lot of selfish nature. I think you when you get about 14, 13, 14, 15, you start to understand that, hey, your mom deserves to be happy. But when you between like 8 and maybe about 12, you're a little butthole because you don't want to see your mom with other people. I know I didn't.
Especially they said the father died 5 years ago. That's still fresh.
So
still remember that.
I mean, I don't know to say that it's fresh, Q, but I will say this.
No, it's fresh.
You say 5 years?
It's been 5 years. It's still fresh because it was their father. That's
and
all
they're 13 now. It's not like that, you know, they still babies. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, you grieve, and I mean, you kind of if done right, you can educate your children as to how to navigate those things. So yeah, and then some people, man, I know that some people never get over the loss of a parent. But the one thing
you never get over a loss of a parent.
I mean, one thing I don't know.
And
man,
as a child, I would think it was harder. As adults, I grieve my father every day. It's not the same. Your pain gets different, but it's not the same as it was when it first happened. It's not fresh.
Yeah, I think the order of the universe speaks to the fact that that's supposed to happen, though. But I just don't think that they were ready for it as little people, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even as you grow into into adulthood, like, yeah, I still grieve like some people that have gone on. But at the same time, when I look at it, I think that's the natural order of the universe. Like, I'm not supposed to. They weren't supposed to outlive me, and so I accept that as, God's will. But the thing that I'm gonna say, man, bro, you need to reconsider the way that you approach doing that, and you got to really sit down and think about some alternative ways to do that. Maybe reading some parenting books, maybe looking at some different options as to how to reach and relate to those kids. Because right now, the way that you disciplined or were disciplined is not appropriate for the way.
Oh my.
My goodness,
Yeah,
man.
that's too
This is the last question.
Yeah, jeez. So let me jump in here, right? Hey, good point, man. Okay, so let me jump in. Jeez. Ooh-wee. let me go ahead. Oh, wow. Okay. This is Over the Top Podcast, guys. Hey, man. You hit it round the head, dude. You would have been around for 5 months. These kids 13, 14 years old. You haven't built no capital. You haven't built no grit with these kids. And my father's strict discipline, I am, and that's how the only, and that ain't the only way I know, but yes, I am. However, it'd have been different if you was raising these kids from 2, 3, 4 years old, and you discipline kids. At 13, when you come into the house and you come into her house, and you have and four girls. How many women?
3 girls.
Three girls.
But so he
and
moved
the
into
wife, so 4 total.
they moved into a house. So now he's dealing with including his wife, 4 women.
No, I'm not dealing with 4 women. I'm dealing with 1. And that's the mama. And the girls, you show out. I'm not, hey, we gonna be cool. Get your girls right. I'm not disciplining them children because they're not mine. 2, I don't have no time with. If I raise them, that's different. What people fail to understand when you talk about discipline only spankings and discipline only works when the children know that the person who disciplined them is gonna be there for them for the long term. You have not built any credentials, or you have not built any trust and love with those girls. You don't discipline out of anger. Discipline is done out of love because you spread around for the child. Discipline is done out of love. Discipline is not done out of I'm the boss and I gotta run the show. No, dude, you live in a house with 3 women. You don't run the show at all. You don't make no decisions in that household. I bet you. You think you do, but you don't. And women have a way of disguising that you make decisions. Dude, you don't make no decision in that household. I'm just letting you know off the gate. But no, you don't have enough. I don't think you have enough skin in the game to discipline a 12 and a 13-year-old if you haven't been around them since they was babies. So
I don't think that's true. I'm going to disagree because none of you have come from a blended family, but I have. I'm so sure that she didn't just marry this man and not introduce him to her daughters. I'm so sure that she was dating him for a while and made sure that her daughters were a part once she felt comfortable enough to introduce him to her daughters. And then they started doing things as a unit because that is the way it's supposed to be done. She said they had the conversation about discipline, that she was abused. So I'm so sure she's had the conversation about triggers and being an abused child, how she disciplines her kids. She does not use spankings to discipline. Coming from a blended family, and my parents got married when I was 8 years old. Pop disciplined from the get, but they had a conversation about how the discipline would go with the boy and with the 2 girls. And even with my biological father, my mother had that conversation with Zoe and Zora's father. You will not put your hands on my daughters because we don't want to give them the impression that it's okay for a man to hit them. And now that's how my mother thought, and that is how I think. But as a father, when you come into that, Pop didn't have to. Pop, all he had to do was say something and the tears would come. If he felt disappointed and the tears would come. And you, as fathers of girls, you understand that the worst thing you want is for your father to be disappointed in you. And literally, you could just raise your voice and a girl will straighten up. She said that her daughter apologized immediately when she got smart mouth because she realized that she shouldn't have said what she said. And she apologized immediately, but yet he was quick to ready to put his hands on her. So like you said, no, you can't lead with anger when disciplining. Disciplining comes from love. Recently, my best friend's father passed away, and at his funeral, his son said that before our father would spank the guys, she's the only girl out of 4 kids. She has 3 brothers, older brothers, and she's the baby. Before that he would spank them, he would make them pray first because Mr. Carter was a big man. He was about 6'7", 6'8". He was a big dude. So he would make them pray before he would discipline them, mostly probably because he had to pray himself as to not hurt his kids because he was such a big dude. Discipline comes out of love and how you do it and effectively, especially because Ron said some of us don't have the conversations, but some of us do. She had the conversation with him about what type of discipline is needed. These aren't very unruly girls. At 13, yes, they're going to say certain things, but then she realized it was wrong and she apologized right away. He doesn't have any kids. That's the one thing. He's coming from at 45 years old and he doesn't have any kids and coming into a house with 3 girls. I personally think that men should discipline girls different than they discipline boys. And I'm not saying that if you decide that soft parenting is not your thing and you want to lay hands on your kids, that's your business. But it also has to be a different lay of hands too.
So, so one thing you and I, and we don't talk about this so much. One thing you and I guess when it comes to the spanking thing, I think we on two different ends of the spectrum, because when I raised both of my children, I mean we spare the word, spoil the child, so a lot of spankings was given. I was raised by the spanking. Not our daughters react to their fathers when they say do something, they start crying and break it down. I have a beautiful daughter and I love her to the death, and I know she's a daddy's girl, but she ain't gonna break down because I tell her to stop. Sometimes kids are real. The point I'm making with this guy though,
he might fight you.
Yeah. The point I'm making with this guy though, is not that, or what I'm saying. What the point I'm making with this particular Toia is, he haven't built that relationship to discipline those kids at all. I don't care if that was boys, girls, whoever it is. You want to build around these kids 6 months and they 13.
No, it doesn't say they've only been married 4 months. It doesn't say how long.
So how long he been raising those children for how long?
He doesn't say how long. She didn't say how long she dated.
But they said they didn't live together. Let me finish.
They didn't live together, but that doesn't mean they didn't do things.
So he only been in the house 6 months.
My parents didn't live together before they got married.
That. I said the point I'm making is with this.
He's only been in the house for 4 months.
So 4 months and a 13-year-old. No, if I come into if I met a young lady and I ain't have no children and she have a 13-year-old and a 14-year-old, no, I'm not touching those children. That's your children. I'm not touching those
because
they already gone.
When you come together, those children become your children.
I'm not saying they're not mine. I'm not Toia. That ain't what I'm saying. I said my discipline is I'm not touching those children. I'm not saying I'm not going to discipline them. I'm not saying I'm not going to love them. I'm not saying I'm not going to give them everything that I got. But I'm not going to discipline them because they're not mine.
But it's not, the conversation was had. And like I said, I don't know their situation. If she wants to send me another back on how long they were together,
Well, it
before
doesn't
they
matter
got
to me
married.
because
When
you
they
moved in the
when
house in 4
when you come,
months.
no, I just feel like we had a conversation. This is what I approve of, and obviously he was okay with the conversation. But then once something went wrong, he ready to put hands on a
Right, he's
child.
out of order. Correct.
Yeah,
He's out of
that
order.
yeah.
Correct. He's out of order for that. Not
But that
because
was
But
the
that
way he
doesn't
was
mean he
raised, though.
doesn't have
People
to
parent the way that they were parented most times.
you find ways to discipline certain types of kids. If you are the one that has to put hands on a child, I ain't gotta beat my kids. I don't have to put my hand. I have never. I've hit Zoe one time, and to this day, she still say her back is broke from that one smack on her butt when she was 5 years old. But I've never had to hit India Azure. There's just I don't have kids that are unruly who don't listen.
well, that
Maybe
don't mean the
that's the
kids
thing.
don't rule it because you don't spank them. It's still discipline instead of be done.
There's
And if you are
discipline that is
disciplined, that's how
done,
you
but there's
discipline.
discipline with
That don't
words.
mean they're unruly though.
Like Quentin say, if I turn the internet off, and that's not a problem either because my kids are not.
Quentin Xavier Dawkins wasn't unruly, but sometimes he needed that. She needed that. He needed me to love on him.
For
He
me,
wasn't
for my
unruly.
kids, I don't have to say. And please believe I might say, "Oh, I'm gonna beat your ass," but they
Well, I
really
ain't gonna
know I'm
threaten you
not.
neither. Now, if I'm gonna say I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna
They
do it
literally
now.
know I'm not. But they don't
Right.
do things that I have
Right.
to go to that extreme.
What?
And
Who's to say that's extreme to everybody, Toya?
I got beat, but I didn't get like my.
But that's not
It
extreme
was
to
for
everybody,
outlandish
sweetie.
shit.
That's all I'm saying. That's
I
not
just
extreme to
don't see.
everybody.
I don't see me whooping like the slave master
Right.
beat on us, and that's how I think about it. What is that? What is that accomplishing? Is the behavior going to change? And if I have to continually do it, is the behavior not changing because I'm doing it?
No. The point is, everybody discipline how they discipline. Now, I'm not, and I'm not going to tell you what you're doing is right or wrong. But don't look at because somebody used spanking as a tool of discipline. That's right or wrong.
No, either. I was spanked. I turned out fine.
I mean,
fight a lot.
I'm just saying.
I will fight a lot though.
And some of these unruly kids who hard headed and talk back, they probably need some discipline too. Anyway, we don't hijack the conversation. Kid, what's your thoughts, man?
First off, I know you're my father-in-law, but it ain't no business you put my whole government name out there.
I'm sorry, sir. I was making an example. I'm sorry, sir. I ain't mean to throw you out there, so I do apologize.
I was minding my business. I was letting y'all handle that. All of a sudden, I hear my middle name. People don't even know how to spell that. Why are you just throwing that out there?
I'm sorry, sir. But continue your thoughts.
Go that discipline. Go that discipline.
I do apologize. So long. I went first. I already told the man, "Hey, look."
He did stop. He said the man wasn't. He needed to tap out.
I say he ain't put. Not only have you not been in the game long enough, y'all might get pulled out the game for touching the girls.
That part. Remember when he said that? I just think that you need to have the conversation. You don't have to. You're not an asshole for telling him that no, you can't put your hand on my girls. That you're not an asshole.
But here again, no, she's not, and I don't understand why that conversation. If you had the conversation with him and he did it anyway, there may be a different. You may have a
that might be another. That might be a red flag you missed.
Yeah,
that part.
Conversation.
I hate to say it to the newlyweds, but that might have been a red flag.
I'm saying, bro, it's 45. No kids. No wonder he ain't got put in the game. Bro, you ain't running the right plays. Bro, get out. Get out. Go sit down. We'll try again next week.
Why are we like this?
Facts. Ron, where you at, Ron? You out, Ron? Okay,
Ron's sleep.
I'm here.
I appreciate all the questions from tonight. As always, we do have a lot of Ask Toya. I think we're gonna do a female Ask Toya question because I got a lot of, married questions, a lot of relationship questions, from men that they want answers from women. So I'm going to get together at all female Ask Toya. As always, if you have questions for us, or if you just want to compliment me.
No, compliment her on her own Facebook, on her own page. Thank you.
Listen, Still getting disrespectful DMs, but you can hit me up at AskToya, TOIA74@gmail.com, or Ask Toya on Facebook, TOIA. And you can send me in a DM or email. Please don't send any disrespectful email. I got a man, so don't be sending me disrespect.
And we slide for Toya too. Y'all keep
Yes.
it business in there.
Yes, they do. They are very protected.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Hey guys, thanks for the question. Hey, let's wrap this thing up. Q, what's your last thoughts, man?
It's been too long, so I'm not going to talk about how Stephen A. Smith has dropped his tank. I ain't never seen Stephen A. Smith and Drake. Why y'all going on loser world tours? Y'all both y'all need to sit down and take a year off. 2025 is not y'all year. Sit down. Now, what I am going to say, what I got something to say here. Okay, here I'll say this one. Who you are determines what they will be. I forgot who said this because I just write stuff down when I hear people say it. So that's the last one.
Good deal,
stuff,
Q.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
RJ.
Hey man, good night, folks. Hey man, hug your kids, hug your families. Pray that we're safe under the flag of American protection, because some of the things that we got going on right now are really concerning. So, well.
Good stuff. Lady of the night, Miss Toya, last thoughts.
Lead with love and light. You never know who is in the darkness. And sometimes just lead them with love. Check on your loved ones. We experienced a big loss. So check on your loved ones. Just say how you doing. Ask somebody how they doing. Brighten someone's day.
Good stuff. Hey guys, become more informative. The more information you know in this climate, the better you're gonna be. The more information you know, the better your family gonna be. Let us. Hey, I understand we got the housewives and we got different stuff on TV. Take about a couple of minutes and find out what's going on around the world. I know we love sports and basketball, but take a couple of minutes what's going on in your community and what's around you. Keep your head up and keep your head on the swivel. Hey guys, great show. Love you guys. Like always, man. Your next move be the game changer. Peace.